Hello, everyone.
Good evening, everybody.
I remember to sit down on time, but I forgot to put my ears in.
So what you may not appreciate is literally 2 seconds before the video cut over to Deana and I just realized the baby did not show. We both literally just sat in our chairs just as the thing got in there because we are that on the top and that prepared, but we are that professional to get here right in time for all you guys.
Got here.
Yeah, we got here. We're here. We're good. Welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to what I would say for Deana as well as for myself is that it has been one hell of a busy week, particularly this particular week when it started on the weekend.
We say that every time we're here.
It's true, but this one I think we have the evidence, we have the receipts.
Receipts.
We had as the main story will be later on, which is the NAC event and everything that got entailed into it. We'll get more into it a little bit later, but obviously, how is everybody doing tonight? Hopefully, everybody's getting a little bit relaxed. Midweek, if you're in Ottawa area, you're probably a little bit moist. It's been raining almost every goddamn day, and it's going to be doing that for the rest of the week. So
stop speaking moistly.
Stop speaking so moistly. Stop feeling so moistly. Stop being so moistly.
Moist.
Exactly. So we can slowly get into the week. We can start off with last week. I don't know if we want to get into last week. Last week. So, an event that shook and shocked and is going to cause all sorts of chaos occurred, and it involves Brian Derksen.
Brian.
Yeah, they dragged him out naked out of the courthouse and literally kicked the shit out of him.
Oh, yeah.
I told him to leave me
I
in
was calling for my buddy.
fucking dragged me all the way from downstairs to outside.
Put your underwear please up.
Did you get a picture of this?
Yes. Okay, let's go.
Boxers and underwear.
Do you want me to call
They
911?
promised to take me in front of a judge and lie a fucking pig.
You want a hand
I'm gonna call 911. I'm gonna call
No,
911.
don't.
No?
Yes, I'm gonna call 911.
No.
Yes,
No.
Brian, stay there. Brian, stay there.
Yeah, he's
911.
awake, but I just watched the cops.
Stop there, Brian, stay there.
Drag him out of the courthouse.
Okay, get up from there. Get up from there, please.
Yeah,
Brian, stay here, please.
The event's inspired voices.
61.
161. This is.
Brian, I just watched the cops just drag my buddy out of the courthouse like this.
Somebody half naked out of the courtroom! Is that logic? Is this logic?
Welcome to Sparta.
This is when you're loud. This is time to grab your mic and yell it. Not in front of a schoolhouse.
Yes, we got police officers using excessive force on Canadian citizens in this country.
Aren't you
I'm a
sick?
60-year-old and I had 5
Aren't you
PPS
sick?
officers. I've never been arrested in my life. I yelled to Trudeau, hey Trudeau, why didn't you turn China on us? And 5 PPS officers took me down. This is what our country's doing. We're not allowed to speak in our country, and I'm really upset at the over excessive force of police officers. They took me down. I'm a 60-year-old great-grandmother. You know what? They took me down and because I asked Trudeau why he turned China on us. I didn't deserve that, there, young man.
Now, I don't know if you guys caught that, but she went from a 60-year-old grandmother to a 60-year-old great-great-grandmother.
Great-grandmother.
Or sorry, 60-year-old great-grandmother to a 60-year-old great-great-grandmother. I'm like, a 60-year-old and your great-great-grandmother? I'm like, there's
Maybe
a lot
she
of
means
questions
she's really
going on.
good at being a grandmother.
Maybe.
She's really great at it. She's great at being she's great at being a grandmother.
But I mean, to be a great grandmother, I mean, you have to have grandkids and then great grandkids and great grandkids. I'm like, you need to have like 4 generations underneath you. At 60 years old, there's some math that's involved there that doesn't quite make sense. I mean, my grandmother. Sorry?
They were all 12 when they had their babies.
Apparently, because I mean, my grandmother, when she passed away, she was a great grandmother at the time. She was on the verge to be a great grandmother, but she was like 90 something. And she did have her first set of kids when she was around 15. Her first child at 15. But so it was more of like, yeah, that's Patty. She seems to be, as other people mentioned, Patty seems to be a bit of a.
Well, and a lot of people mentioned she's yelling in a microphone saying she doesn't have the right to speak. It's
true. Well, that's what they all do. I mean, like, come on, like, listen, it's like, I have no freedom. I can't speak. I can't protest while I'm standing in the middle of the fucking street yelling in a megaphone saying all the shit I say I'm not allowed to say. Yet you're doing it every fucking weekend.
And let's be real, okay? Brian Derksen was filming in the courthouse. It is not, you're not allowed to film or record in the courthouse.
Correct.
And you can't take pictures. And politely, a lawyer told him he couldn't. He argued with the lawyer. The lawyer cited the law, like the section of the law that says you can't do it. Brian continued to be belligerent. And the cop was like still being fine. It all started because Bozena doesn't want to go through the mags. She thinks it's bad for her health. We know that it's just them trying to see how far they can push the envelope. It has nothing to do with anything else, right?
Yep.
And see how much freedom they have. For them, freedom means no rules at all, or the rules apply, but definitely not to them. They should apply to everybody else. Yeah, and then he started resisting, like moving. He didn't want to leave, so they put him in handcuffs, and then he started resisting arrest. Yeah, it's going to take 5 of them, and he refuses to leave. They're going to get you out. It's not their fault you weren't wearing a fucking belt, Brian. And then the fact that you ask if the person got a picture, you saw them filming you, your fucking pubes hanging out. You're disgusting. You're just like, you're lame. You're a joke.
Yeah. Aside from, I'm sure many people have made a whole bunch of manscaping mentions, whatnot. So just disclosure in regards to.
The carpet doesn't match the drapes. Just saying. Right? Did you notice that?
I really wasn't checking, and to be honest, I did do the blurring effect and made sure to do the tracking. I'm hoping that the tracking did a good job to stay exactly on target.
He starts with his Just for Men down below, and I think he ran out.
So, disclosure as a side note, as I'm trying to veer away from the whole discussion of Derksen's downstairs. There is, as everybody's aware, there is previous video footage in regards to what was occurring, and it all happened within the courthouse. Now, we're not going to show that. And the reason why we're not showing that is that we're not sure if it's legally permissible, even for us to rebroadcast something that somebody else did. We know we would never broadcast, or we would never film inside a courthouse because you're not allowed to do it. It's just not legal. Mm-hmm. But to rebroadcast somebody else's footage of having done that, I don't know if we would be also culpable for that. So just to be safe, we're just not going to do that.
Yeah. You just have to go and visit at that person's. It's not even.
We're not encouraging you to do something like that because that might be conveyed as illegal. If you should happen to do that on your own,
then you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah. And if you've already seen it, then you already know what we're talking about.
Just believe me, okay? You don't want to see it anyways. Just believe me. The carpets don't match the drapes.
That's not even in the courthouse video. That's just in the uncensored video. Again, true, to us that are censoring and giving you guys the videos, feel bad for us. Shit we have to do. And to the others who've also done the same thing as us, I feel bad for them too, and I empathize because we had to deal with that shit.
Are we going to show any more of Brian? What he did later?
Seriously, did you want to see more, Brian?
No, but we should update if we're not going to show. So Brian wasn't hurt because the next day he was dancing around like.
Oh yeah, I did not get that video. Yeah, I didn't get the footage, but yeah, go ahead.
Around, and then was that picture of him carrying that cross. Did somebody like Photoshop that, or was that?
No, that's him carrying a fucking cross. I wish there was a video of it. If there is, then let me know, because I'm like, okay, this is proof of him carrying a cross the day after he was assaulted. But I mean, even during the incident, you're like, he's lying back and he's not moving. And again,
and Bozena was being a drama queen. Don't. I need to call 911. Don't.
But he's like, I saw the video of him inside the courthouse, even though it was illegal. I was forced to watch it because it was there. So having seen it, like, and what I can tell you about it is, it's exactly what we see from Derksen interacting with police officers. He was the same person, same belligerence, same argumentative nature. So for him to be sort of dealt with where he was makes kind of sense. But I also see, in regards to him being sort of just the difficult person that he is, the officers did not arrest him, obviously. They're just like, you know what? You just need to leave.
Yeah, get out of here.
And if he refused to leave, I could see them picking him up and just carrying his fucking ass out and just like, no, you're out of here. Done. And we just don't want to deal with you. And you know what? They probably don't. I can understand most people not wanting to deal with him. Fucking Derksen. So they threw him out, and then he just kind of made a story in regards to, I'm on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Am I correct? I think I am.
Well, and then when they went and started yelling about it at the courthouse,
that's just them yelling at empty buildings again.
Yeah. The one person yelled back, "You deserved it," to Patty. She's like, "I did not deserve it, young man." Yeah, I think you did, Patty. I think you're not telling us the full story. I'm pretty sure you guys yell about China and WEF and all that stuff to Trudeau all the time. So I'm pretty sure something else happened. And they are getting pretty lunatic. And we're going to probably get into that later on, because we're going to talk about today. But they're getting to the point where they've taken it a level far too far.
I don't know. I think they have reasonable arguments that are based on grounded reality, and I don't know how long I could do this with a straight face.
Yeah, no kidding.
But you're absolutely right. It's a bit of an I mean, these guys are a bit of an insanity. It's a shit show. I mean, you and I both know that. It's what they do. But it's, this is what we saw here in the regards to courthouse is no different than what we've always seen in regards to the right wing stuff.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next thing, which was also the next day with the whole cross carrying thing, also was the Saturday protest, which was the next day.
Yeah.
Now this was kind of a sort of a interesting kind of event that kind of, they got all together to go protest at Parliament on a Saturday because, empty buildings. It was a fair sized group and it did bring some concern, but let's roll the clip first and then we're going to talk about it after. I did prepare some interesting points within the clip to hopefully have to understand what I'm talking about.
Stop the child abuse! Stop the child abuse! Stop the child abuse! Leave the kids alone! 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 Leave the kids alone!
But can I bring your attention to the second flag that we're looking to pull down as well? That flag is the rejuvenated pride flag. Get to know what that flag means. It's no longer about equality or equal rights because gay Canadians have equal rights. If I point you to some of the colors on that flag in terms of the arrow, it doesn't matter what the other colors are. You're going to do your research, and you guys are all talented. You'll know exactly what they mean. Make sure you have a bag you may barf. Some of the colors on there are from MAP. In other words, minor attracted persons. It's a nice
What a fucking idiot.
a
He is.
political way, if you may, of
Fucking liar.
saying pedophiles. So
Fucking liar.
that term, ladies and gentlemen, that term itself should not be used at all. They are pedophiles. What they want to do in the schools, ladies and gentlemen, we are part of assimilation. We're part of assimilation right now. They want to see what sticks. I know they're pulling the race card. You will also hear, brothers and sisters, that these protests are for people that are often racist, often misogynist, right wing. But today,
That's you, buddy.
with your presence, now that narrative is broken, and they're looking
No, it's not.
for a new narrative. Of course, since you are Muslim, since you're from the Middle East, you're also Arab. They're back to the drawing board, and they don't know what to say.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Joe.
me
I've
first.
got my pieces to say.
Oh, I know
Go.
you. I know you are fucking charged when it comes to
Ah,
him.
fuck him. He's a piece of shit. Go.
Absolutely. So my first thing is which I know you're going to completely back me on this one, which is the fucking liar. The colors he's referring to as MAP, because he actually points out to the colors, those are the trans colors. And that right there is like, aside from the fact that, like, you know, you're misrepresenting, no, fuck it. You're fucking lying about everything what you're saying right now, because those two colors, there's no MAP. It doesn't exist in regards to the pride flag. And the
Some
colors you're referring
right-wing
to.
piece of shit came up with MAP. Like, that's not even a
Agreed.
fucking thing.
No, agreed. And I, but I don't even believe. You know, sorry, I don't give a shit about whatever the right wing makes up.
Yeah.
The flag has very specific colors and what each color represents. You know, black and brown is to help is in regards to BIPOC. The purple and blue in regards to the angled colors, they have to do with and I may have gotten that a little bit wrong, but they have to do with trans.
I thought the
et cetera, et
black
cetera.
and white was pan and see, I don't even know. Anyways,
Yeah.
there's no such thing as
Point
map.
is, and again, we can probably get clarification on every single color, but both you and I will go right off the bat, and not a single fucking color in the pride flag has to do with MAP. That is made up shit that you're fucking lying about. Why? Well, we
Because
can
you're
go
a
the whole gamut.
right-wing bigot. That's why. So there's no change in narrative, buddy. You're the one who changed your narrative when you tried to run for the Liberal Party and didn't make it. And the fact that you're Arab and the fact that you're brown and the fact that you're Muslim doesn't change the fact that you're a right-wing nut job. That's it. I'm Arab. I'm Muslim. I'm not a right-wing nut job. You are. And the fact that he gets up and lies to everybody, like that definitely, I couldn't wait for today. I couldn't wait to be face to face with that piece of shit lying motherfucker.
Oh,
He's
I
a
know
liar.
that. I know that.
And he's crazy. Like, he's a lunatic. And the people he brought today were lunatics. Yeah, like he is a misogynist. That's the other thing he brought up, is that like he's all of those things. Everything he mentioned, that's what he is. So yeah, he can just shut his cake hole. He's trying to be the next thing in the movement. He thinks he found his niche or whatever. Are you showing more clips of what happened?
Well, this is the Saturday event. There's more clips
no.
coming up later.
Of the Saturday event, I mean.
No, and I didn't get a chance to process the whole thing because most of the stuff I tried to press there. He spoke, and so I did want to put that sort of as an addendum here. He spoke for well over an hour, nonstop. Like there was a long ass rant that did go a bit in circles. Yeah, like he spoke because, again, like this guy is
a chud. Is a chud. Is a chud. He's a fucking chud.
There's a chud, but again, there's some nuance to chud, and I'm not saying he's not a chud. I'm saying he's a nuanced chud in regards to there's the chuds that are these guys, there's the chuds of that guys. This chud is one that wants to be, he wants to kind of exploit and lead and be sort of like, I am the one that's the smartest one, and I can save you from all this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Do your research. In other words, just trust me. Okay, just trust me. I know what I'm talking about. Like bullshit.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. It's just, yeah.
We know that some people, like most people who run for politics, actually want to do good, and then they get jaded along the way, or something happens. He absolutely ran for the simple fact that he's trying to make a name for himself, and he didn't make it. Either and I'd like to explore that more. Why didn't he make it? Because he sounded like a right-wing nut job when he was running for the Liberal Party, and people were like, no, you don't represent what we want? Or is it because he's just, trying to take on a riding that already had an established Liberal candidate? Like, whatever it is. Or maybe there's a conservative member of parliament that always wins that riding, and I don't know. Like, I don't know enough. All I know is he tried to run as a Liberal candidate.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's
I'm sure it's an easy enough question for us to figure it out, but yeah, continue.
He's just a fake ass Muslim, and he's a traitor to his people, to my people. He's a traitor to the religion. My religion. You don't get to lie, and you don't get to cast hate on a group of people based on lies. You're bearing false witness. Those are two parts of the commandments that he has broken, the 10 commandments. If he's truly a Muslim, he'll break a third because he'll be responsible. He'll have blood on his hands for the bullshit that he's spewing. And he absolutely will, because we see the psychotic bullshit that's coming out of them, both from June 9th, more than both, June 9th, that day, which is what I want to talk about. I had posted, and you guys, anybody who's on here probably follows me and has seen either on my TikTok, on my Facebook, or on my Twitter. That's how pissed I was. I was in knots after seeing what happened on Saturday, that same day that you just played the clip, where a trans person, I still haven't verified that person is trans, just a person, but somebody had mentioned. So if that person is trans and they're just trying to, speak their truth, and then an entire group starts like putting their signs in their face and like, going after them, and they have seriously, literally done nothing wrong except for existing as. That pissed me right off. Like, I felt like I needed to be there. It's not fair that person was by themselves. Anybody needed to be there. Didn't have to be me. Somebody needed to be there with that person. The police end up taking that person, or the PPS, excuse me, end up taking that person off the hill. And, and to see Christine yelling in that person's face, like the fucking evil bitch that she is, she's disgusting as well. She makes me absolutely sick. She's a goof. And they honestly looked like what we saw back in, well, I didn't see it. I wasn't alive then, but during the civil rights movement. And those pictures that came out and the videos that came out during the civil rights movement. and when they ended segregation in schools, and the signs, like I couldn't believe I found a picture and the signs were literally the same. Our churches are being indoctrinated, or sorry, our schools are being indoctrinated, our churches are being taken over. This is the same bullshit that stupid other young Muslim
The
kid.
fear doesn't change.
Mhm.
The issue changes, but the fear never changes.
It's like, but they keep trying to say that like it's coming into our schools, it's coming into our whatever, our churches. That bigot there at the OCDSB, that Muslim bigot young guy who was speaking just as horribly as Kamal was like going on about fake imams and fake mosques. Who the fuck are you to decide whether these places are fake because you said so? Like, who gave you any moral authority, any Muslim moral authority to speak on that behalf? Go fuck yourself. Like, if you have that,
the person that
then
spoke
I
like
can tell you.
yeah,
But
that person that spoke like that Kamal was actually Kamal.
no, it was a different person. It was a
Was it?
young guy. He literally
Oh.
just graduated from high school. Some loser young dude who's like, I think in going to university or whatever. No, I posted that too. Anyway, they're just they're garbage people. There are fringe people in the Muslim movement. People are tippity-toeing around it because they don't want it to appear that they're attacking another minority group. We are not attacking a group specifically. We are attacking people, and nobody attacking people, excuse me, let me finish that sentence. We are attacking people who are trying to unalive. We're attacking bigots who are trying to make people not exist. I don't fucking care what religion you are. In fact, we would be bigots if we only called out the Christians. Okay? We need to call out every single one of them. I don't give a flying fuck what religion they are. These are Muslim people. They are religious people. If you want to take out the word Muslim and you want to take out the word Christianity, you say these are religious zealots who are taking their religion and trying to turn it into their rationale to harm people. And none of the religions allow for this. Okay?
Agreed. And so I will not speak in regards to religions, in regards to, so I take a slightly different angle, still coming to the same endpoint. As a person who's not Muslim, I'm not going to speak too much of Muslim. I'm a former lapsed Catholic, but I'm not a Catholic anymore because I am an atheist, flat out. But because of that, I'm very much on the principle of every Canadian has a right to freedom of their religion, as well as the right that I exercise, which is freedom from religion.
Yeah.
So you have the right to practice whatever religion you want, but I also have the right to not be forced under the rule of anybody else's religion.
Yep.
Because that's my right. And as well as every person who's religious.
I have a question for you, Joe.
Sure.
Do you reject learning about it in school? Do you reject if the school did a week of Hinduism and a week of Catholicism and a week of Islam? And honestly, like, this is what happens in my daughter's school and most other schools when it is the time of a celebration. So if it's Dhaliwal or whatever, you know, they learn about, like, Camilla came home with 7 different Hindu gods that she colored, and they learned about what their responsibilities are, or whatever, these deities. And then they also learned about Christianity. They do Chinese New Year, and they learn about Chinese New Year, like all of that stuff. So this is why she's so well-rounded, and other kids are.
So from my, so again, speaking as the authority of atheism, which I'm not, I think it's an absolutely fantastic idea. If the idea is very much like, we're going to show you Chinese New Year and everything, what's in regards to that, and we're going to show you about the Diwali and everything about that, and everything in regards to an educational matter, as we show you every single religion and everything about it. I am totally on board of like, no, Show them every religion. Show them what it all means and whatnot. Be a little bit honest. That might help more atheists kind of develop in regards to seeing all religions as to what they all are. And some people may decide to go into religions, and that's great because they will choose to go into that. But it's a very sort of if you're showing all the religions to be a sort of like these are all good religions as to what they are and what they're teaching, great. But if you're changing it to indoctrinate and you're only focusing on one religion,
Joe,
you're no longer educating.
Can you take over for a bit?
I can absolutely do that.
Okay, I'll be back.
All right. And now it's the Joe Show. Yay! No, I get it. Kind of is right now for a minute. But yeah, so from my view here, it's if it comes to atheism in regards, it's not atheism. If you want to teach kids religion in school, and I don't think it's a terrible thing to teach them in a public school, to give them a sort of a roundness of like, you guys might be Protestant, you guys might be Christian, you might be Catholic, and then your kid next to you might be Jewish, and this is what that means. Kid next to you is Muslim, this is what that means. And the kid behind you is a Hindu, and this is what that means. That's great. If you want to teach religion in a well-rounded way, you should absolutely do it. But if you start focusing on one thing, no, this is our religion, and this is it because this is what's the most important part. Look at that. She snuck her way back in on her own. She's learning the tools. Look at the power. It's crazy.
I got the power.
I know. The fact that she's learning technology is terrible. Anyways, that's my summation. Like, yes, I completely agree with teaching religion as long as it's taught in public schools in regards to it's taught to us. This is what all the religions are, and this is what they are in regards to this is what they focus on in a very sort of I don't want to say secular way because that's going to trigger people.
Well, they're just
in a
giving
neutral way.
information. They're just
Yes.
passing on information. Yeah. That is all it is. And so this whole narrative that they're shoving the rainbow flags and the ideology and all this other nonsense down their throat. And I've said this.
This is what they want to do.
I'll bring up, like, why aren't the Muslims protesting the fact that we have a month and a half of Christmas? Honestly, like the minute Remembrance Day is finished, the entire country turns into a Christmas world. Okay. And it's not a Christian country. And so every store you walk into has Christmas music, has Christmas decorations, has Christmas clothes, Christmas, like totally promotional, commercial environment.
Yeah.
And nobody is, and they make some of the right wing make up a story that we can't say Merry Christmas, although every person has said it.
Like, Obama removed Merry Christmas, and then every single fucking tweet of every year is him saying Merry Christmas. So
Merry Christmas, yeah, it's so ridiculous.
You have no problems with it,
but do you know what I mean? Like, this is what are we even talking about here? For a whole month, you're going to see Valentine's Day. For a whole month, you're going to see Easter. For at least 3 weeks, you're going to see St. Patrick's Day. So just give up the whole, this is being forced down, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just garbage conversation, and it needs to end. And they're the ones, well, we're going to go to the next scene. We'll go to the next thing that happens, and I'll...
What is the next thing that happens? Well, actually, we leave Ottawa for the next thing.
Starbucks coffee mug, yeah.
We leave Ottawa, so we go to Toronto. So to talk about rage, we need to go to Toronto, in particular to Pride, in particular to somebody we're familiar with in that area. You know what? We roll it.
Nervous? I ain't nervous, buddy. Go watch all the videos I've been posting today and tell me who's nervous. So kiss my ass and shut your mouth about I'm looking nervous. I'm here ready to start a fight and go to war. I don't see anyone else around, so keep those comments to yourself. And watch all my videos. All of them.
Of course you do.
I'm in here, out here in the belly of the beast.
Put them up.
I'm getting ready to crash this parade because I'm not standing around getting bored in this heat for no reason. I'm going to jump those railings and I'm going to crash this fucking parade. Just wait and watch carefully. It's their last fucking parade, mark my words. Are you kidding me? Come help us.
I thought you said watch your language.
Last parade. You guys getting back in the closet. I'm going to push every single one of you back in that closet where you belong. And you'll be locked in there for the next millennium. Get back in the closet.
Calm down.
See you at the parade. The last parade that this country will ever see. For this disgustingness. I'm in Sodom and Gomorrah right now. Welcome to Babylon.
No such thing as God, by the way.
You hear that cute kid in the background? Mommy! That was adorbs.
Totally
We're doing a
adorable.
parade!
So many things I wanted to sort of highlight before we get into the discussion of the commentary on it. So he did this video during the Toronto Pride Parade. So it was him versus the Toronto Pride Parade, and I'm going to bring you guys facts and statistics. It was him versus 10 fucking thousand people. So he's like, yes, he's going to be the one man that's going to make this parade the last fucking one. Hey, let's be honest here. To quote everybody that's been involved in pride parades, right down to the original, first one is a fucking riot. So you know what? If you're going to put that back in the closet, you have a fight.
Good luck.
Period.
Especially you, Nico.
Yeah. Yeah.
We still
Good
think
luck.
the earth is flat.
Yeah.
You got to move past that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen,
Second one, I'm like,
Yeah.
Go back in the closet. I'm like, Nico, are you going to join them?
He yelled closet really hard. Closet!
He did. Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, he says he watches his own videos, every single one of them. He got really triggered by that person. Congratulations, by the way, for triggering him on there. It's pretty easy, but still, we need that. We need to like see how they rage, because they definitely rage in private and in public.
Anybody who triggers Nico, let me know.
Yeah.
Virtual high five right here.
Like he's so he says he watches it. So anybody who doesn't know him, because somebody said they've never seen this person before, he actually thinks he has this kind of power. He thinks he's been sent by God 100%. If you go on his feed, he takes like old school pictures of prophets, even though like you're not supposed to depict a prophet, but whatever. They're depicting all these prophets, but he takes his face and superimposes it on the picture as if he's that prophet or that angel, with his ball cap on, by the way, too. Like he just takes a picture, the same picture of him smiling like crazy like, and just like posts it on these pictures. He's ridiculous. So him going out there, I mean, I think he thought he was serious. I think he thought that he was going to, like, he's loopy. He's gone to that place where he thinks that he's been sent by God and he is the new messenger. I think that's my thoughts.
He's always had this sort of
God complex.
No, not God complex. God complex is not right. Crusader complex.
Okay.
You know, there's a nuance there, but like God complex, I control. Crusader complex is more of I'm on a mission from God. I'm not God. I'm on a mission to do God's work.
Whatever that is.
It's a subtle thing, but it's more of it's one of those things that he can try to turn around like, no, what I'm doing is not wrong because I've been told by God this is what I need to do. And that's kind of his weird, kind of fucked up mandate. He's on that. Again, not agreeing with it. I'm just saying that might be what his motivation is.
I wonder what his real name is.
I have it. I'll send it to you later.
Yeah, I don't think it's Nico.
No, it's a permutation of it.
Okay. That's what I thought.
It's going to be fucked up when I send it to you. Yeah, but I mean, this is Nico. He will continue to do this. But again, for those who aren't aware, I mean, Nico's been more prominent, but he's kind of dialed back a fair amount since more of the bigger things that he's done. Like he was in, we were at the NAC event, which we'll be discussing a little bit later. But he was at the previous one back in February where he got arrested. And he was prominent in those particular drag story time events, him and Crystal Peters.
Yeah. They've
all kind of disappeared. Last time we saw fighting. Nico. Well, they're all fighting. They're all getting kind of crazy. Nico did show up to the last one in Toronto. So I think Ottawa's a little bit out of the range.
Yeah.
So it is.
He came to Ottawa, though, the first drag story time at the NAC, remember?
He did.
And he got yoinked
for
with
3 minutes.
Oh,
3 minutes.
For 3 minutes. We have to tell a story. Well, I guess that comes with our clip first.
Before we get to the clip, he was there for 3 fucking minutes.
But we learned from that clip.
How long it takes for 3 minutes?
Wasn't it? No, isn't that when Crystal Peters was like, "We need the car key." Give me the car key.
Yes.
So we learned from that. And
hold it. Before we get to that particular point,
that's relevant, you guys.
It is. Car keys are relevant, and we'll get to that in. But before we get to the main story, which is the NAC, we are going to switch to a little bit outside of Ottawa, and we're going to go into something that's a little bit outside of what our main stories are generally. So, this week there was an election in Toronto for a mayor. And as many of you guys have been tracking the Toronto mayor election, there was 102 of them up on the ballot wanting to be the next mayor of Toronto.
101. So, in all fairness, one of them was a dog. Molly.
No, I wanted the dog to be in the ballots. 102, period. End of story. Because you know what? If the dog won, I would have said the dog is the mayor, period. Do not take this from me. Do not take the dog from me, period. I will fight you, and I know people will fight you with me on this one. We love the dog. It's a dog. Yeah, don't take the dog. No, but again, legitimately, it was actually 102 on the ballot. So
it's like a Costco receipt.
Yeah, it was. It was a massive Costco receipt that showed up. And the wonderful news.
This is the wonderful news. Oh, the wonderful news. Yes.
The wonderful news is Olivia Chow won.
Yes.
Not going to lie.
It says no slideshow. Do you guys see the same thing?
I'm starting to hate the slideshows here. Do you guys see the image of Olivia Chow amongst the crowd? You see it?
You
good.
See it? Okay, good.
Good.
It's Excellent. Chow time, baby. That's right.
It is. And that's exactly it. So we see Chow. And she's there. She's giving her speech. It's fantastic. And again, wonderful things. So before we get to that, all sorts of wonderful things in regards to her winning. It's a huge props in regards to she's a massive progressive. We remember her husband, Jack Layton.
Yeah.
who we feel was, gone too soon.
Huge
Who would have been
supporters of co-op housing, by the way. They lived in one, so
massive supporter of co-op housing, massive supporter of just left issues and progressive issues.
Unions, yep.
Unions, absolutely. Co-op housing, absolutely. Affordable housing,
Collective bargaining, like collective everything. Yeah.
The list is endless. So this is a huge thing. So I mean, there's a lot of sort of discussions in regards to what this kind of win does. So aside from the fact that this is a huge message to people in regards to, Toronto wanted a progressive, and they did. They balanced between a progressive candidate, which was Olivia Chow, and the second one, which is Anna Belo, which was a centrist. The conservative candidates were way behind them both, which is fantastic. Second thing that was fantastic, both top two were women. The top two candidates were women, which is, again, Olivia Chow is actually the first woman that's a mayor in Toronto. Second, she's the first BIPOC person to be the mayor of Toronto. It's a huge accomplishment. So there was a lot of messaging there, as well as her election was also a massive message to Doug Ford, and it looked a little bit like that.
So awesome too, because now she had so much power that he, and I totally
Gave her
didn't think
that
of it
power.
until Noel had posted it, but it was like,
Gave her that power.
Gave it to all the mayors, and that's why Ottawa should have done better and not voted for the same old bullshit, like the same old stock, but whatever. Another 3.5 more years and we can figure it out.
Well, somebody pointed this out to me, and it was I believe Sheep King that was kind of that made an interesting point, because he does do a lot of monitoring in regards to the politics in regards to also a lot of the municipals across Ontario. And he said, since Doug Ford did the super mayor powers, where a lot of them got sort of powers to be able to do stuff, since they've gotten those powers, a lot of the areas that gotten these powers have been voting in progressive mayors. He's kind of shot himself in the foot. It's like, yeah, the mayor gets in there and gets all the powers. Oh, look, we're going to bring in progressive mayors. I don't know what to do now.
I wonder
especially
why
in Toronto.
Anyways, I don't even care.
Because he had conservative mayors and powers there.
Well, we know one guy didn't win.
Yes. Ninth. Absolutely. He was a bit of a failure there. So the statistics in regards to it, I did want to bring this up first, which is like, again, Olivia Chow and Anna Belo, they got the top two spots. They got the top two spots, where the next one underneath was Saunders and Fury, and both of their votes added up together didn't even equate to either of those two. I'm like, that's impressive. But if we go all the way down to ninth place, Mr. Christopher Sakoshia, Chris Sky, did not win.
And then he started claiming voter fraud, which is hilarious. What a fucking idiot.
Claiming it. Oh, claiming it. No. He went full-fledged cray-cray on it. He's been now hammering like, oh, there's a whole election process is all rigged. I want everybody who voted for me to message me. Well, you know what? That's going to be less than 10,000.
Did he have any commercials?
TV commercials?
Any commercials?
I don't know. He did the campaigning in, I don't know, name me an area outside of Toronto.
If anybody's from Toronto and you saw a Chris Sky commercial, can you let us know? Maybe we'll look it up for the next time. But
We would have known about it by now.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe. Yeah, you're probably right. Somebody would have posted it. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Somebody
he
would have
didn't
mocked
even
it by
have a
now.
venue in Toronto. He couldn't even hold any type of anything. He had to go to some buttfuck nowhere place to have his rallies. That's all he did was rallies. He wasn't even having any types of debates or anything. It was just a barbecue fest every single time. just
Nobody
like the
invited him
convoy
to
people do.
debates. Sorry, no, he did have one debate. He did have one debate. Somebody
did, eh?
did host a debate for the
Did he go?
yeah, he did. He did. There were some other people there and they kind of walked away. Possibly knowing that, if you're in a debate and everybody's is there and one of the people that's there is also Chris Guy, you're like, yeah, I'm not in the winning debate if I'm in here with Chris Guy.
Yeah. Whatever. He's
Um,
annoying. I'm glad it's over and he's gone.
It's over. He's gone, but it's going to be like
He's going to go back to Prince George, where people like him.
possibly, but it's good. He's going to milk this particular thing in regards to the whole conspiracy. Like, oh, they stole the event, the election from me
To
because
his 6,000 people. Good for him.
8,000 people voted for him because you know what? 8,000 people. I'm impressed that
Was
he
it
actually got
8,000?
up.
I thought it was 6,000.
It was 8,000. I got the final numbers right here.
Did he call for a recount and then it went up to 8,000? Maybe that's what happened.
I don't know. He got 8,001. I don't know who the one is.
Him.
Like that could be. Yeah, we'll go with that. So it's 8,001. Because he believed he got 8,001. I'm still not sure exactly how he believed he would have gotten the mayor election because
Keith said basically he argued with a potato.
it's true. He stole the votes from a potato.
Anyway, enough about him. Yay for Olivia Chow. Yay for Toronto.
Yes,
I see good
it's
things
impressive.
coming in your future.
It is. It's a
it'll take her
wonderful
some
progressive
time.
mayor.
She's got to pick up the pieces after Rob Ford and that shitty council. And then
John Tory.
And John Tory and his fucking debacle. So she's not going to fix everything in a heartbeat. There's lots to do in Toronto. Lots has gone wrong. So people need to be patient. But I think she's going to be a great mayor. She's a great leader. What's next?
Totally agree. So let's see what is next. Oh yes. This thing, this place. Douche. It is the NAC.
The douche is at the NAC.
The douches of the NAC. So we now come to a main story, which is today.
Before we play that, should we tell the funny story before it happened?
There's quite a few stories. So I can start off with a couple of technical things. Which one?
The key story. We didn't even start yet.
So we did organize. So all right. So we went to the NAC. Thank you, Magic Hand. We went to the NAC. After organizing, so it's been a bit of an eventful week in regards to the whole thing. So let's rewind a little bit here. We started off on Sunday, I think it was, where we got the messaging or to it Sunday or Monday, and we said, "Oh crap, here it is. There's the event." We all were kind of prepared for it. We didn't know when it was going to come, but it did come, and then that's when we fired off the messaging. So once we did, we're good to go. Get all sorts of things organized, get everything in place. We showed up. And once we were there, everything was good to go. And, Tina and I were pretty much on automatic mode. We're like, all right, we need to go do this, do that, do that. Everybody else was there. We're like, all right, we connect, we do this, we do that. And as I'm there, I meet up with one of our friends there. That many of you guys might have heard about, Clayton. I'm talking to him,
and I'm on the other side with Camilla.
She's on the Dina's on the other side.
We planned in advance because a lot of people were saying Deana's going to get arrested. So it felt like they were going to try to get me arrested. Like we didn't know how the day was going to plan. And
So-
the last time I almost got arrested, I asked Joe if he would take my car key.
Stop. You're ruining a punchline.
No, I'm not.
You're giving it away. Hang on. So I'm there with Clayton and myself, and we're discussing stuff. And as we're discussing stuff, we're also talking to some PLT officers. And
they didn't hear that because your voice went away from your microphone. Who were you talking to?
We're talking to Clayton, as well as we're talking to some PLT officers in regards to discussing what's going on.
Yeah.
Some PLT officers, police officers, as discussing as what the plan's going, and they're letting us know, like, all right, we're going to thank you very much, my hand. Thank you very much. But we're telling them. Exactly. So they're telling us, it's like, oh, we're going to do a line here, and what they told us actually turned out to be a thing, and we're discussing that a little bit later. And it's kind of good, and we had a good conversation. So as we're discussing this, along comes a random Camilla out of nowhere.
She ran over.
It's like, Joe, mom wants you to take her car keys. Here, take them. Because she's expecting to get arrested later.
No, she said in case she gets arrested. Camilla ran over and said, Joe, take my mom's car key in case she gets arrested or something like that in front of the cops.
Yeah.
I love
no. I have to correct it. She's not in case. She was like, no, she's gonna get arrested. She's gonna get arrested. Take the car keys, and that's it. And then she walks away. And I'm just sort of holding him, looking at him. Myself, Clayton, and the cops are all there, and they start laughing. And like, apparently that's gonna happen. So that's what we're dealing with. That child going home with me because
it's that these people keep trying to like instigate these fights and stuff. It's hilarious. Anyway, I love my kid. She's
hilarious.
Like it is. She's awesome.
She is. She's wonderfully unfiltered. She's as not a convite kind of point out. She's definitely a demanding girl in any Starbucks. Period. But yeah, no, she's
a master negotiator. She'll break you down.
She will. She's mostly out of repetition. And I think the short answer to this, and as my wife and I have discussed many times, like, yeah, if you want to understand Camilla, just remember she's the daughter of Deana. Everything else falls into place.
She's awesome.
She is definitely your daughter. It's like, why is she so difficult? I'm like, oh, I can give you an answer you're not gonna like.
I don't say why. I know exactly why. I'm just like, Camilla, and I'm like, man, she's tough.
Definitely your daughter. So let's start off with some of the lighter things of
today.
So we had the large drag story event. I don't know if you know this, but there was a drag story today, and there were some people protesting it. I don't know if you knew about this. And there was a fair amount of crowd. So this is what we were discussing just a minute ago in regards to. I have to admit, the OPS did a very, very good job in regards to keeping the groups divided. So what you're looking at here is the dividing line. If you're familiar with Ottawa, where the NAC is and where the War Memorial is, because you can actually see in the background here on the top right, there's a dividing line that's a kind of the roadway, and in front of there is the convites, the right wings, and everybody else across there. And then on the left side, which you can't see clearly because we're kind of that way, is the defenders. And pretty much number one, Deana is actually there chirping fucking hard.
Yep.
So, and another angle from it is from the other side here, and we can kind of see a little bit more. So there was a fantastic amount of people showed up. There is, we'll get to the Citizen article a bit later, regards to discussing it, but Citizen and a couple of other medias were saying that there was roughly about 200 people on the defender side, which I think wasn't wrong. But 100, 200
I
people.
think, yeah, I think there was about 200. I
Yeah.
agree. That's what I
100, 200
guessed.
people. They were saying there's only about 20 people on the protester side.
No,
And,
there was about 40 of them.
Yeah, and that's where I disagreed with the article I was reading. They were saying there's only about 20. I'm like, and trying to say there was less than the February. I'm like, no, there was more, and I don't know what time they were checking it at, but there was more, and I agree with you. 40 feels about right.
Yeah, well, I counted. I actually counted heads. So
Deana
anyway,
doing the math.
Are there any videos for this event?
We will begin to the actually. Do I have any videos for this particular event? I don't know if I got any videos particular for this event because again, this was a bit last. No, I don't think I have any particular videos for
we'll
this.
Just talk about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I went hard on Dacey today. He deserved it. I think he. I
think he likes it when it's hard.
I think he had to walk away and go sit on a bench in the darkness, go smoke a cigarette.
Well, that was
back in the shadows.
That was a little bit kind of interesting because I remember. Oops, sorry about that. If you guys got some noise there. Yeah, because I know he ended alive.
Mike. Oops.
Was it?
I said I was hard on Dacey, and then he just took the 3 words and said hard on Dacey. Stiff Richard. Hard on.
Like I said, phrasing, woman, phrasing.
I'm getting in trouble.
So yeah, I do recall
for not saying things properly.
Yeah, this is how you get yourself in trouble when you say something. But yeah, so I do recall he shut down the live stream because I was kind of monitoring that. But I do recall there was a lot of chirping going on towards Dacey at that particular point. I'm like, he's probably shutting down because that is a lot being sort of fired towards him. That's
all it takes. I should have done that a long time ago.
Fair. Not disagreeing. I'm not going to tell you what to chirp him on, but it seems like that particular thing kind of chirped him a little bit.
Good. He deserved it.
It worked.
And then there's Kamal, the liar.
Well, before we get to Kamal, I mean, so aside from the group, so I actually got some shots of our drag king and queen. So on the left, I actually got a shot of me, and on the left is Cyril Cinder, who did a fantastic job in full pirate attire.
Amazing look.
Amazing look, incredible look. Yeah. And then there was and we have China Doll, who was also there. Incredible. Both of them went in there.
China Doll. I didn't see China Doll.
I saw
karaoke
China
with China Doll, but
no, did you?
Well, when they did the Winterlude karaoke.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I saw China Doll twice, so I got the shot there. Wonderful there. I also saw them. China Doll, again, an incredible person, because not only were they there, but they also went to the front line and sort of faced off. They went, and so I don't think you saw them because you were firing forward. I was
on the other side. Yeah.
No, you were firing forward, but they were right behind you, kind of thing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they were right behind you. I stood in front of them, but that's for something else, to kind of piss off somebody else that was reporting. But yeah, they were there. And again, the message China Doll, I don't know if they'll ever get it, but so like, aside from doing a fantastic job from everything I've heard in regards to the drag story times, you were fearless, incredible, love it,
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
China Doll's a great performer. China Doll did, like I said, the it was the NAC on February 8th.
Yeah.
And then when Pride Week for the Winterlude event was on, China Doll did the fun karaoke time. And anyway, so yeah, I can't wait for the next one.
Absolutely. No,
Hopefully the Chuds don't show up this time and they just keep taking their L's and understanding. If they want to go to Parliament and yell at empty buildings, by all means. I'm like, go do that, losers. But the fact that you chant, leave our kids alone, but you fucking carted your kids all the way to where we were, like, you're the only people forcing your kids to be there at this point is you, moron. Like, stop being ridiculous. Nobody's talking to your kids. It's people here who are deciding to bring their kids wherever they want to. It's a library. It's a national arts center. It's a fucking arts center where arts happens, where many, many people wear different costumes, different clothes, tell stories. That's what art is. That's what the art center is. So the fact that you are so stupid that you make your way to yell about this shit is ridiculous. Oh, now I get to see the pictures. Yay, I couldn't see them before. Nice.
No. Why couldn't you see the pictures before?
It kept saying no slideshow for me.
No.
Yeah, but everybody else saw it. I just didn't see it. It's no big deal. I didn't see Olivia Chow pictures, but I'll watch that portion later and see. But anyways, I see them now. So I see China Doll. I don't know if that's what everybody else is seeing.
No, we're seeing Olivia Chow.
Oh, now I'm seeing Olivia Chow.
All right. So this is the one I want to bring up because I think you want to discuss this one.
Kamal.
Yes.
That's him looking at me right now. I remember that look.
Oh,
That's
he
him.
was.
Yeah,
to be honest, I got a lot of shots of him, and pretty much most of the shots I got of him are looking at you because that's what he was doing most of the time. You fucking got under his skin.
Fuck him. He got under mine, lying to everybody. Look at that face. Does that look like an honest face to you? He looks like he fucking sells cars. He's a lying son of a bitch. Like,
Yeah.
he's a bigot, lying piece of shit. I'm glad I got under his skin. I couldn't wait till he showed his lying dumbass face and put it in front of mine so I can tell him exactly how I feel about it. He owes everybody an apology. Every single fucking person he lied to, and every single fucking person he lied about, and everybody else that heard it and was offended by it, and everybody else who may hear it and believe his dumbass, or everybody else who might hear it in the future and may be offended by it. He owes every single person on this goddamn planet an apology for standing in front of all these people and spewing his garbage. In the name of what? Fuck you. You're a lying piece of shit. Khara majnoon. Enta majnoon. Kull fi mukhak. There we go. In case he watches this.
I'm going to think he's going to not watch it or say he's not watching it.
Yeah, I don't care.
I know.
He'll get a clip of it. They thought they were so funny. Are you bringing up the pictures of the crazy women that decided to bring?
So they're already there. I just thrown in a couple of shots in regards to Kamal. Yeah. Just because, again,
so these guys are so zealot and fundamentalist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's him looking at me again.
Yeah.
So zealot and fundamentalist that they thought it would be okay to show a picture of our prime minister with a noose beside it. There it is. Fucking disgusting. And that wasn't her picture. She took it after, which was good for me. People are worried that when I call these people terrorists, it's like, oh, you're calling a brown Muslim a terrorist. That's racist. No, it's not. Anybody who holds a picture of the leader of their country or whatever with the noose or whatever, like, give me a break. There it is. That lady. Heya Majnoona. She is crazy as fuck. That woman there. Look how proud she is of that. What does it say? How to save Canada? What the fuck is that? And then that woman
Yeah.
house. She kept trying to speak and we kept drowning her out. She's getting pretty pissed off at that.
Yeah.
It's what you do. You just drown them out. Or
Trudeau
mock.
plus a news, how to save Canada. And that's supposed to be acceptable. Well, what we are saying, which is that shit's wrong. Oh no, that's hate speech.
It is. They should be
Really?
fucking. That's disgusting. That's how you save Canada, by showing pictures of killing somebody. What fucking country do they come from? I would really love to know. What fucking country do you come from before you landed here? And let's compare that government to the government in Canada. And I'm not talking about specifically the Liberal government. I'm talking about how our systems work, how we operate it. Yeah, definitely the systems are oppressive and definitely all these things are true. None of the people like Justin Trudeau, even Stephen Harper. Can you imagine if people walked around with Stephen Harper in a noose? Everybody hated him at the end. They were muzzled, they were whatever, like vile. I could not stand that man by the time. And then Jack Layton was like a hopeful, and then he ended up passing away before he could run another election. And Justin Trudeau came in right at that sort of around that time, right? Because there was like a change in leadership there. But even as much as I hated Harper, I could never imagine walking around with a picture of him and either a gun beside him or a noose or any of that shit. Like, that's where their brains go.
Yeah.
That's where it goes. They're right-wing nut jobs.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, the most I could probably sort of give to Harper, and I steal that from Magic Hand, which is, explosive diarrhea. I'm like, yeah, they'll live. It's uncomfortable, but explosive diarrhea. It's kind of messy. Don't think about it too much. It's gross.
Yeah. So I want everybody to repeat after me. Go home terrorists. I don't care what they look like. I don't care what religion they are. I don't give a fuck. That is terrorism. That is an act of intimidation. That's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yep.
And the fact, like I said, that they show up, the group of them, to spread their hate, and then they say stop child abuse, you're showing that to your kid. Your kid sees you holding that shit up. Like that's okay. It's okay that mommy feels like the right thing to do is to hang a man that was democratically elected, like actually democratically elected by the country.
And I also want to highlight one particular point where it's this particular death threat isn't new. We saw this all the way back to February last year at the convoy.
Yeah.
Towards the prime minister. So and the messaging is no different back then compared to now, which is that shit is wrong. Period. Yep. You don't like the prime minister. Cool. That's fair. Are we large Trudeau advocates? No. Do we believe he should be hanged? No. Should he be voted out?
Anybody should be hung or killed is pretty fucking psychotic. But they push that same sort of dehumanization of the prime minister onto an entire group of people as well. Right? They have no problem if anybody from the LGBTQIA
that's the thing.
Plus gets, loses their life. They don't. There's no.
The entire thing that they're doing is every group that's against them is to be dehumanized to the point where you can show nooses around the prime minister, dehumanize the 2S LGBTQ plus, and that just keeps growing. In regards to this new Muslim group who's now continuing on the messaging in regards to what the convoy and everything else is doing, hence the nooses around Trudeau. I'm like, all right, cool. You're continuing with that, but now you're going to be dealing with the shit that they also dealt with. Good luck.
I just find it hilarious that they don't even just bother looking 2 or 3 years in the past of all these people that they just met in their social media, just go back 2 or 3 years and
Mhm.
see the kind of shit that they were saying about Muslim people, about BIPOC people or BIPOC, about anybody different from them, and how they and then also how they
Mhm.
kept saying, we like everybody's included. Don't worry. You can be anything. You can be trans. You can be like, we knew that was bullshit. So it's all hypocrisy. I don't know, I saw their faces turn when I hammered on the fact that Daisy, like I said, do you even know who you're standing beside? You say protect the children, and Daisy puts in the title of his porn teen porn. So teen, what does teen mean to you? Teen is a child. So he's actively promoting, right, that he is this Muslima? Do you think this is Islamic? Like, what what the hell? So anyway, I think they might have, I don't know, the young person, the youngest one there kind of had a sort of unsure face. I hope she does her research like Kamal had told her to do. Go do your research, young lady. God gave you a brain before he gave you a book.
Her research is going to leave her to X videos. Just saying.
Good. She needs
Don't
to see
disagree with
it.
it.
They all need to see it. They all
Nobody
need
should want to
who
see
they're
it. Nobody
complying
wants to
with.
see that shit.
This whole
This comes from a guy who had to do the video with fucking half naked, Derksen. Nobody wants to see that shit.
No.
Trust me.
This social experiment that is happening right now between those two groups is almost it's almost at the end. It'll be finished soon. I guarantee you by the end of 2023, this won't be a thing anymore. It won't. Or Kamal will convert to Christianity, or Daisy will convert to Islam. One of those things will happen before this group actually solidifies and becomes a thing. Yeah, Daisy will give up his baptism, and then he'll follow Kamal in his footsteps, and he'll become a.
I don't think so. I think that DC is kind of sort of like, no, I'm full Christian and I'm going to follow them, and like he's just sort of like, he will follow. DC just follows. That's what he does. He will follow whatever he thinks is a good thing, whether or not it's a good thing or not, whether or not it's going to be good for him or harm him, because clearly he's big on following Pierre Polyev right now, even though that everything about Pierre Polyev is going to hurt him.
I know. It doesn't matter. As long as it hurts all the people he doesn't like, then he's fine.
Yeah, everything about Pierre Polyev is going to hurt him in the long run, because he's somebody who does need the system. And everything about Pierre Polyev is to basically remove him from the system and just throw him to the streets.
Yep.
Good luck with that.
Good luck.
Indeed. Don't know if there was anything else we want to bring up from.
Well, yeah, there was something I want. Well, not from the event specifically, but they said that they're going to gather at the Parliament Hill on Saturday. Now, the funny thing about Saturday,
July 2nd.
It's no, Saturday is July 1st. It is Canada Day.
So, sorry, Saturday is July 1st. You're absolutely right. Sunday is July 2nd. There's also another event on July 2nd.
So are they going on July 1st to protest? Because that's funny to me, because what I anticipate is that they're going to be like, look at all these people with Canada flags. They're joining us. No, buds. That's not what's happening. Yeah. So are they?
Hey, that sounds like a Jason LaFasse kind of move.
Yeah. And Jason's coming this weekend.
Really?
Oh, you didn't know that? Somebody sent me a message that he just put up a video saying that he was.
Nobody cares about Jason anymore, so why would I try?
He's coming up on Saturday. Maybe he's coming up for Canada. He has no money, but somehow he finds a way to get out here. So.
Hitchhikes? He just hitchhikes?
Hitchhikes. Anyway, so that's what I was told. I didn't see his video. I was told he was coming up. But yeah, if they're gonna come excuse me, and protest on Saturday, good luck with that. Especially with like no one's gonna tolerate your bullshit on Canada Day.
Well, I
And
mean, they did do an event last year during Canada Day
mhm,
on and again, like they had a fair amount of people there, but again, Canada Day, as you and I both know, because we're both Ottawa
200,000
people,
people. Yeah.
that's right. 200,000 people is around the downtown core. I think it's 125 was the kind of the maximum one, but still,
Yeah.
it's a huge amount. If you get a chud sort of chud group showing up, you're not going to outmatch people who are just there to like, no, I'm here for the fireworks. I'm here for the shows on the hill. That's what I'm here for, which is the
Cotton
majority of
candy,
people.
patios,
Yeah. I'm
the
here to drink
displays,
some
pictures,
booze on a patio. I
on the
will
lawn
go
with my
enjoy the shows on the
family.
hills. Just the normal shit that you and I both experience, and as well as many other people there. They'll see this kind of gathering of chuds, flying flags, fuck Trudeau and whatnot. You're like, that's just like a mess. All right, where's the shots at? That's all I care about. It's just gonna be a mess.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be trying to do the same thing. It's just not gonna respond. People, even right now, they're being kicked out of like the square. They've been kicked out of Parliament Hill. People just don't give a shit about them. They're shit.
Yeah, they're done. Everybody's done with their nonsense. I'm sure many complaints have come to the city about them, and many complaints have gone to the police about them. So I think their party is coming to an end.
It's absolutely coming up to an end. It's not coming up to an end. It is at an end.
Well, it is at an end, but
the only people it's not to an end of is to themselves. And I'm like, you're going to need to get a bit of a message there going, if it's not an end to yourself, but to everybody else, you are the people at the fucking party who haven't realized that the party is over and everybody's left except for fucking you.
Yeah. See ya.
And it's been this way for over a year now. Year and a half now. Go home, Derksen.
Yeah.
Party's over.
Get a life, all of you.
Agreed.
Well, coming up to an end. We don't have any more material, eh?
We don't. So we may leave and make this episode a little bit shorter, but by a couple of minutes, that's fine. To Deana and I, we've had a long fucking day because both of us were up till we started off around 5 or 6.
Yep.
Getting everything ready.
You're making me tired talking about it, making me think how tired I am.
I know I'm making her feel tired and old. It's horrible. But yeah, no, we had a long day. So we're probably gonna leave now. We're gonna give you one final inspiration video, and this particular video kind of spoke out to me in regards. It really spoke in regards to what this day in protest was, which was people started saying, "No, this is how you should be." I'm like, no, don't tell people how to be. So enjoy the video.